Welcome, dear traveler, to the Baobab Tree Tales, where the winds of Africa carry the stories of old. Here, beneath the shade of the mighty Baobab, we share the myths, legends, and whispered wisdom passed down through generations. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a tale. And when this story ends, another waits just beyond the horizon. So settle in, open your heart, and let the story speak. Today, the wind carries a story from the long ago, a tale that dances between the seen and the unseen, a story whispered by the ancestors themselves. It is the story of a woman, a transformation, and a truth that could not be silenced. Prepare yourselves to be captivated by the saga of Simpimpino. In a village nestled amidst the granite copious and fertile plains, where the air hummed with the rhythm of life and the spirits of old walked freely, there lived a man named Mandoga. Now, Mandoga was a man carved from the very rock of the land, strong, capable, and respected for his prowess in hunting and his sharp mind in counsel. Yet, beneath this formidable exterior lay a shadow, a possessiveness that coiled around his heart like a python in the tall grass. His wife, Sarudzai, was like the morning star, radiant, kind, and her laughter echoed like the call of the fish eagle. Her beauty drew admiration, her spirit, warmth. She moved through the village, leaving trails of goodwill, mending quarrels, and nurturing the young. And Mandoga saw these innocent interactions as thorns pricking his pride. He mistook admiration for desire and kindness for betrayal. Jealousy, like a relentless weed, began to choke the goodness in his heart. Consumed by this bitter poison, Mandoga sought out the wisdom of a Nanga, a traditional healer. But Nanga he found was one whose knowledge twisted towards the darker paths, a sorcerer more attuned to shadows than to light. Mandoga, blinded by his jealousy, did not discern the difference. He craved control, a way to bind Sarudzai to him, to extinguish the light that drew others to her. Sprinkle this, the sorcerer rasped, his voice like dry leaves rustling in the wind, into her sadza, and she will become yours alone. The words were laced with a sinister ambiguity that Mandoga, in his clouded judgment, failed to recognize. He clutched the pouch, his heart pounding with a dark anticipation. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of fire and ash, Sarudzai ate the meal her husband had prepared. As the village settled into the embrace of night, a strange stillness fell upon their hut. And then, silence. Sarudzai was gone. In her place, where his beloved wife had lain, was a nguruve, a wild pig. But this was no ordinary creature. In its intelligent, sorrowful eyes flickered the unmistakable essence of Sarudzai: confusion, fear, and a desperate plea. Panic seized Mandoga, but a cold cunning quickly followed. He spun a tale for the village, a story of Sarudzai wandering off into the night, lost to the shadows. He feigned grief, his cries hollow and unconvincing to the watchful eyes of the community. But the nguruve knew the truth. Drawn by an invisible thread of memory and longing, it remained at the edge of the village, its mournful grunts echoing through the night, a constant, heartbreaking lament. The children, with their uncluttered hearts and sharp eyes, were the first to notice. They whispered of the strange pig with the knowing gaze. One brave and observant boy, Rufaro, whose curiosity was as boundless as the sky, followed the creature. He saw its returned to their abandoned homestead, to the very spot where Sarudzai would sit and sing her melodies to the setting sun. Rufaro, his small heart heavy with understanding, carried his discovery to the village elders. A hushed council was convened. Mandoga, confronted with the boy's unwavering testimony, wove a web of deceit, his words slippery and unconvincing. But the elders, their wisdom etched into their very being, felt the weight of the unnatural in the air. And then came Mbuya Chipo, the village matriarch, her eyes holding the wisdom of generations. She approached the Nguruve, her movements slow and deliberate. She knelt before the creature, her voice a low, resonant hum as she began to chant an ancient song. A song of unraveling, of truth seeking its light, of the balance that had been broken. As the final notes of the ancient chant faded into the night, a soft, ethereal glow enveloped the Nguruve. The air crackled with unseen energy. And then, before the astonished eyes of the villagers, the Nguruve shimmered, its form dissolving and reforming, until Sarudzai stood once more in their midst, dazed but whole, her eyes filled with the sorrow that spoke volumes. The truth, like a river breaking its banks, flooded the village. Sarudzai, her voice trembling but clear, recounted Mandoga's dark deed. The sorcerer's twisted magic, meant to enslave, had instead revealed the darkness in Mandoga's heart. Justice, though sometimes slow, always finds its way. Mandoga was not met with anger, but with a profound sorrow. He had betrayed not only his wife, but the very spirit of their community. He was banished from the village, sent to wander the lonely paths, a stark reminder of the destructive power of unchecked jealousy. And Sarudzai, though scarred by the ordeal, her spirit remained unbroken. She became a beacon of resilience in the village, her wisdom deepened by her suffering. She taught the children the importance of trust, the dangers of envy, and the enduring power of truth. And when the wind whispers through the tall grasses, some say you can still hear her gentle laughter, a testament to the light that even darkness cannot extinguish. And so ends the tale of Simpimpino, a story that reminds us that appearances can be deceiving, that jealousy is a poison that consumes from within, and that the truth, no matter how twisted or hidden, will always find its way to the light. Cherish the beauty within yourselves and others, and let kindness be the guiding star of your hearts. Until our next gathering, may the wisdom of the ancestors guide your path. Tinotenda.